You're listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips, where we present audiobook quality readings of the classics for your enjoyment. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, just because you're a bumpkin doesn't mean you can't be cultured. Hey, today we're going to read a list that was compiled by George Washington, the first president of the United States. And he compiled it when he was a small boy. And I don't know where he got it. It could have very well been an English list or something like that. George Washington did grow up as a rich kid, kind of an aristocrat, you might say. So they were very much tied to England. He fought with the British in the French and Indian War, even though he went on to fight the British. And then he was first in war, first in peace, first in the hearts of his countrymen. But he wrote this list down when he was 13 years old. He wrote it in a little notebook. And this is good. This is really good stuff. If a 13-year-old is thinking about manners like this, it's little wonder that he would grow up to be a general and a president. And I've got two little boys, and I'm going to be working on a lot of these things with them. And listen to how timeless they are, too. There may be a couple things in here that, they're sort of outdated as far as the aristocracy, that kind of a thing. But this is a good list. So I hope that you get something out of it. In the presence of others, sing not to yourself with a humming noise, nor drum with your fingers or feet. Sleep not when others speak, sit not when others stand, speak not when you should hold your peace, walk not when others stop. Turn not your back to others when speaking. Jog not the table or desk on which another reads or writes. Lean not on anyone. Read no letters, books, or papers in company. But when there is a need for doing it, you must ask leave. Come not near the books or writings of any one so as to read them, unless asked to do so, nor give your opinion of them unasked. Also, look not nigh when another is writing a letter. In writing or speaking, give to each person his due title according to his rank and the custom of the place. When a man does all he can, though it succeeds not well, blame not him that did it. Be slow to believe evil reports of anyone. Be modest in your dress, and seek to suit nature rather than to win admiration. Keep to the fashion of your equals, such as are civil and orderly with respect to times and places. Play not the peacock, luing all about you to see if you be well decked, if your shoes fit well, your stockings sit neatly, and your clothes handsomely. Make friends with those of good character, if you care for your own reputation, for it is better to be alone than in bad company. Speak not of doleful things in time of mirth, nor at the table. Speak not of mournful things as death and wounds, and if others mention them, change, if you can, the discourse. Utter not base and foolish things mongst grave and learned men, nor hard questions or subjects among the ignorant, nor things hard to be believed. Be not forward, but friendly and courteous. The first to salute, hear and answer, and be not pensive when it is time to converse. Gaze not on the marks or blemishes of others, and ask not how they came. Think before you speak. Pronounce not imperfectly, nor bring out your words too hastily, but orderly and distinctly. Treat with men at fit times about business, and whisper not in the company of others. Be not curious to know the affairs of others, nor go near to those that speak in private. Undertake not to do what you cannot perform, but be careful to keep your promise. Speak not evil of the absent, for it is unjust. Make no show of taking great delight in your food. Feed not with greediness. Cut your bread with a knife. Lean not on the table. Neither find fault with what you eat. When you speak of God, let it be gravely and in reverence. Honor and obey your parents, although they be poor. Let your amusements be manful, not sinful. Labor to keep alive in your breast that little spark of celestial fire called conscience. That is a fantastic list. That is so good. Shoot, before I teach my boys, I need to work on some of these myself. This is good. Very interesting. If you enjoyed this podcast and know of someone that might enjoy classic literature, I'd appreciate it if you would tell them about it. And then if you get a chance on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to your podcast, if you would give this a rating and a review, that would be fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. But as always, thank you very much for listening. And remember, just because you're a bumpkin doesn't mean you can't be cultured. You've been listening to The Cultured Bumpkin, a literature podcast with Jake Phillips. Thank you very much for listening. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, would you mind going and subscribing and leaving a nice review on whatever podcast platform you heard this on? I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.